the voice of Hawkgirl, Susan Eisenberg, the voice of the wonderful Wonder Woman, and George Newbern as the greatest superhero himself, Superman. Woo!
You hit the music here?
Turn the mic on, anyone, hello. Voiceover people need the mic on.
PR guy?
Pick the other. Test, test. Mics are not on.
Here we go.
Is mine on?
There you go. Whoa. There you go. There you go. Lovely, lovely, lovely.
Didn't we have amazing theme song?
We did have an amazing song, right? Exactly.
The theme song was just as good as the show, in my opinion.
Exactly.
Thank you, George, for playing.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Can I just say all panels should start with a theme song? From
It should. Always, always. You guys have fun?
Yeah.
Good. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Thank you. That's right. Oh, I'm not? I thought. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Well, I want to give you each an opportunity to introduce yourselves a little more. Let's start with Maria down there. Why don't you introduce yourself?
Hi, my name is Maria Canal-Barrera. I played Hawkgirl on the Justice League, and I want to thank you guys for coming out.
Hi, everyone. I'm Susan Eisenberg, and I voiced Wonder Woman in the Justice League in JLU. And like Maria, so happy you're here. Thank you for coming.
My name is Jennifer Aniston. I'm friends for 10 seasons. I'm still looking for a boyfriend. Yep. George Newbern, thanks for coming.
Well, since I'm the moderator, I'm going to ask a question of my favorite superhero first, Superman.
Hello.
What's it like, George, to get to take over and voice one of the most iconic characters in the history of American, our whole culture?
Well, I'm pretty sore, honestly. It's the workouts are intense, but no, it's kind of it's a lot of responsibility, honestly, because I initially thought it was a 1 week or 2 week job. I was a little clueless as to what it was going to be. I thought it was literally a one-off movie, and then my agent said, no, I think it's going to go for a couple episodes. I was like, oh, this will be fun. And then I got in there and I went, oh, I'm Superman. If I had known it was going to be this kind of thing, I would have probably paid more attention and gotten nervous and then not gotten it. That's probably what would have happened. So, but no, it's a responsibility because the superheroes are a myth or a mythic pop phenomenon in our Western culture, not just the United States. I mean, these characters are huge all over the world. I think you just can't think about it too much, but you want to honor the tradition of what he is and not veer too far off, unless it's injustice, in which case you can be evil Superman, and that's something different. But it's been an honor and a responsibility mostly.
Susan, I would ask you the same question because Wonder Woman has an incredibly iconic place, especially for women. So what was it like, the gravitas of taking on that role?
Again, I don't think we were, yes, I knew I was voicing Wonder Woman, but it wasn't as if I had to go in and be Linda Carter or anyone else. It was Bruce Timm. It was his vision for the character, and he was very specific about what he wanted for me to sound like and embody. And so it was like starting from scratch. It's like somebody playing Hamlet. You you just try to do justice to the character and respect the tradition of the character.
So voice work is very free.
Free?
Yeah.
Ish. Ish. I mean, you can have your ideas and you can have, you know, the more ideas, the better. But you also have to fulfill the vision of the director. So, like, for instance, when I went to do the Sorceress for He-Man, I had my own vision for that character, and Kevin Smith was like, no, that's not the vision. I have the vision. We're going to go with Monkey.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, you're the boss. So it's,
Kevin Smith.
you know, it's Kevin Smith. But so yes, it is free, but then you also have to work within the lines of that.
Not a lot of improvisation.
No.
With these kind of characters.
Interesting.
Yeah, none.
And Maria, outside of the comic book aficionados, your character might not have been as well known. Was there some freedom in that for you?
Totally. Is it?
It is.
There was total freedom for me. I wasn't aware of Hawkgirl, so I got to find her, and it was really great. It was fun, and I didn't have any preconceived ideas, and our director told us to bring a lot of our natural selves and our real voices and not put something on, not cartoony.
Right.
Correct, but sometimes, you know, we would fall into, as women, a couple of times, I don't know if you, I only heard it a couple of times for you, but for me, she would remind me that I'm a warrior. Sometimes I get all, oh no. And I'd have to remember that I'm Cheyenne. So it was fun.
It is important to remember these are powerful characters.
Yes.
I'll ask each one of you, and then we'll get people lined up for questions if you want to go ahead and line up. But what is your favorite memory from either recording the show, or interaction with fans, or interaction with celebrities? What's your favorite moment that's come from playing something as well?
Well,
We'll start. with
while
Maria.
recording, it was great because we were all together very often, the same studio, rather than just alone in a booth imagining everything, which is great, part of our job. But when we're with each other, it's really electric, and Andrea Romano, our director, really scheduled that as often as possible. So for me, for while recording in character, it's those very, very sweet, intimate, vulnerable human moments with the Green Lantern where we're falling in love and he takes my mask off and all that. It's just like, oh my God. So vulnerable. You know, we're so strong and we have masks and weapons, and then takes my mask off. It's very human, very beautiful, and very sexy. I remember,
Was it sexy, Susan? Okay. Romantic.
sexy. So also, personally, what I liked as an actor is when fans tell us what I remember, like imprinted in my heart. It's like, wow. But fans say, you guys were so great. The show was so good that it's your voices I would hear in my head when I read the comments. I was like, oh my gosh, there's no greater compliment than that for an actor. So those are the two things I remember.
The same. The same in terms of being in the room. We were always together. So like you'd walk in and there would be 14 microphones around the room and all the guest stars would come in and you'd be like, oh my God, there's Edison, there's Evans Chin, there's Mark Hamill. I mean, it was just pinch me all the time. And so that, like you said, that was just such a gift to be able to work opposite Patrick Duffy as Steve Trevor and Kevin Conlon as Batman, and Michael as Flash, all of us, Carl. Then the Comic-Cons, which is the conversation with the fans, like Maria said, you know, hearing from you, and you all talk about your childhoods and this show, and it's very, very touching to all of us that this show was a part of your childhood, and that you were introduced to these characters through this show, through these shows. So It's very, very meaningful. And then the third thing I'll say is when we've been reunited. In New York, we were reunited for New York Comic Con. In Denver, we reunited. And just having us all together again, anytime we could all be together and just catch up and see each other, we fell into that Justice League groove. And it's very sweet, I think for all of us, except George. It was kind of tough.
No, for me, it's just, if I look back over the last, 30 years, I've been an actor in Los Angeles and around, is that long days on sets and recordings, sessions and whatnot with people. I remember less about the work and more just about the people and the moments in between takes. And with Justice League specifically, my favorite parts were just hanging out. Which is rare today. We used to be all together and record the whole episode with all the microphones in the studio with Andrea Romano, the director. But nowadays it's much more isolating. You're in a booth and they do it remotely. And that's now the norm since COVID. It's easier for them. But it's not as fun for the actor, I don't think, or as good for the performance. It's a little more sort of one-off, isolating. Yeah, I miss, what I miss most is just being with folks. So these Comic-Cons are sort of not a third act, but a seventh act or something with Justice League. So it's really great to meet fans up close and say how it impacted them.
I would imagine the difference between working in that isolation versus being able to work against Mark Hamill.
Yeah.
It's very different. I'm trying not to fanboy out too much.
Oh, he's great.
Good Mark Hamill.
He's fun.
All right, I know y'all are all lined up and have questions for our group here, so we'll go ahead and start with questions. So,
Hello.
Hello.
All, changed so many childhoods here and through your voice work, and we've taken, like Hawkgirl, a lesser known character, and made her a household name in that. I still remember the coloring book I had, the old Justice League cartoon. But the real question is, due to the late, great Kevin Conroy, what was it really like working with the voice of Batman? Because
Really
you're the
like?
voice of your character.
Really like?
What was he really like? Yeah. What was it really like working with him?
He was a doll. He was a doll. I was telling somebody earlier when I first got the job, he'd already done Batman the Animated Series. So he was like a pro. I mean, he really was a superstar. And, someone like me, I was really new to it. And I had done animation, but not as a lead. And he called me up and he said, I heard you got the job and I'd love to take you to dinner. And we went to dinner, we got engaged. No, I joke. And he was just so gracious. And, it wasn't easy because he's used to being the star, right? And all of a sudden he's got these 6 leaguers, moving in on him. But he was always gracious. And he lived in New York also. So we weren't always with him. So when he would come to town in LA, it was always special. But he was everything you'd think he was. If you ever see him in an interview or at a con where he'd stand up on the chair and yell to everybody, I am vengeance. And the place would go insane. He loved his fans more than anything. He loved his life more than anything. And we miss him all the time. And being at cons, I can't tell you how many people come up to me. Not only because I have the picture of us kissing, but just people miss us so much. And we do too. It's just not, it's a big blow to lose anyone. And for us to lose a leaguer, it doesn't feel the same.
Thank you. And of course, the voices I hear whenever you comment. So
Thank you.
Thank you.
thank you.
Hi, this comment and question is for George.
Yes.
I'm sorry that it's not Justice League related, but you did a movie in the 80s called Double Switch.
Oh yeah, for the Disney Channel. Yeah.
Yes. I just wanted to tell you how much joy that movie brought to my life.
Thank
My
you.
mom says I watched it every day
Oh,
after school
that's-
for a year.
That is so sweet.
She has it memorized and she didn't even want to, but
Oh,
that movie brought me so much joy.
oh, good. Thank you. That was.
Yes, I would just like to know just any tiny tidbit you can tell about making that movie.
That was my first big job when I came to LA. I was 22. I just got out of college and had this audition for a Disney movie, and it was kind of not real because it was the lead, and my character was playing opposite himself. It was like a prince and a pauper. One was a rock star and a normal nerd. And Elizabeth Shue played the girlfriend. And I got the job. I couldn't believe it because I was a musical theater person, so I could do all the stuff. And so when I got the job, I was like, oh my gosh, it's going to always be like this. And the producer was Mark Gordon, who's a really huge producer now that, you know, works with Spielberg and huge producer, Dave Greenwald, John McNamara. It was everybody's first job, and they all went on to do huge things. And but I think my best memory or funnest memory was at the Wiltern Theater, and I was doing a whole big music video in front of all these, you know, 500 extras. And I was a rock star. I was thinking, is this real? Am I really? I'm from Arkansas. It's like, how did this just happen? But it was really fun to see it put together, and it was quite good. Yeah, it's really fun. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
How's it going, y'all?
Hey,
Hey,
Remember me from Pensacola back in 2020?
possibly. Possibly.
Were you in costume a lot?
No, man, I was in my AC/DC shirt.
Okay. Okay. You look familiar. That's for sure. Yeah.
Yes, indeed. Remember what I gave y'all?
Okay. What was it?
Those Power Rangers rock and roll CDs.
Oh, okay. Cool. Yeah, I might if I will go back and look at my.
What's that, man?
You gave it to us to keep or just?
Oh, yeah, Pete.
Oh,
They're presents for y'all.
I think.
I didn't get that.
I gave it to you right when I met you at your table.
Yeah, all right. You go back and look for your notes.
No.
Well, it has been a few years.
Yeah. Well, thank you for bringing.
COVID
Thank
hit
you.
right after that, so
Yeah.
it went crazy.
I remember those wonderful things that people give us, and anyway, thanks. I'll look through the stuff again.
Hey, no problem.
Thank you.
Well, I got a really good question for y'all.
Yeah.
Did y'all know that recently the Power Rangers toy line surpassed DCEU with their toy line?
Well,
No.
I don't think that's possible. I'm against it. It's true, I'm against it.
That is true, unfortunately. But yeah, they made some statements, and yeah, they've earned a lot of credit for our history, even though they came years after DC.
We
But
can take those guys in 3 seconds, right? Power Rangers, come on.
yeah. But regardless, all of that is just part of my childhood, including you guys as well.
Thank you.
And I just want to say that you guys are still going to earn a lot of fandom through the years.
Yeah,
And
thank you, buddy.
it's really good to have the reunion with y'all here. And after 5 years seeing you guys again, I'm real happy that I got to be here for y'all.
Thank you, buddy. Thank you for coming.
you.
Appreciate it.
Now,
Thank you, Nate.
This is the captain speaking. I met John.
Hello, Captain.
Hello, James.
Yes.
Nice to see you
Live
all
long.
again. I really enjoyed this panel. I really appreciate it. Now, I know y'all, I didn't actually grow up watching Justice League. I missed it out, unfortunately. I was
Sit down.
I was a little bit too young to start watching the show at the time.
Are you calling us old? Is that-
No, sir, not at all. But anyway, I actually got introduced to the show by watching clips of it on YouTube. And one of my favorite lines, I think it was Hawkgirl, she was talking to Flash. And Flash was explaining that he's the fastest man alive. And I think it was Hawkgirl who said, so that explains when you can't get a date. So I was wondering if y'all had to choose from out of the millions and millions and millions of lines that y'all rehearsed and performed, what would have to be your favorite lines as your character, if you had to choose?
I like the cardboard speech. Sometimes I feel like I don't mean in cardboard. That's my favorite.
No dating for the Batman. From this little piggy, written by the great Paul Dini.
I'll have to watch that episode. I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, it's awesome.
Yeah.
And I'm a pig for most of it, so I say that because it's such a great episode.
I feel like you would like the Spider-Verse movies with Spider-Ham.
Well, I will give it a shot. I have not watch Spider-Man except for like maybe the original.
Wrong universe. Wrong universe. Take a left and then go that way.
I like both Marvel and DC.
Yeah.
Star Wars, Star Trek.
Sure.
I don't cross rivalries there. I do cross rivalries actually.
Maria, I see you deep in thought down there.
I have a favorite line that was said to me. I said, I don't remember what I said verbatim, but which one I'm telling him why we can't be together. We're telling Gio, and I say, look at us, just look at us. We're so different, right? And he says to me, I'm a man, and you're a woman. And I remember that line making me go, okay.
Oh, you're right.
I noticed how she calls him GL.
So, yeah.
Good.
That's what I would.
Well, thank y'all so much.
Thank you.
And I will try to catch up on watching the show actually.
All right, good.
Where's a good place to start?
HBO
Episode 1, HBO.
and Netflix,
Oh, is it Netflix?
not YouTube. We don't get residuals from
No.
Hello, big fan. Of course, shaping my childhood. I wore out the clamshell VHS of the Secret Origins 3, premiere, which is where to start. Secret Origins part
Yes.
1, 2, and 3. And of course, you guys are playing like the greatest heroes on Earth, but you guys all also got turns kind of switching gears and playing villains, whether it was in the Better World 2-parter or Shira's betrayal in Star-Crossed, of course, the Injustice games. So, you guys had any fun from that kind of villainous twist? Did you guys have any fun kind of switching gears? And
Always fun.
Because of the different colors of our characters.
Yeah.
It's so fun to play something different and, it's what we all struggle with, the good and evil within us. And, yeah, it's exciting and they're extreme because we're superheroes, we can be extremes, combating those feelings within us. It's great. It's what drama's all about. It's fun.
Yeah, and even not only the good and the bad, but also like, Maria was saying earlier, the more intimate scenes, the funnier scenes, the lighter scenes mixed with the warrior scenes and the powerful scenes. Having all of that, just as an actor, it just gives you more to play, which is fantastic. George loves playing evil.
I do. It's fun. It's really, really fun.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hi, so I had a question. What was your favorite episode to, voice in?
Star-Crossed,
I mean, that
1 and 2.
For the man who has everything, I think that's my favorite.
It's so good.
It's a good one.
God, wasn't George great in that?
Stop it.
And you remember I asked Batman if he brought him a gift card, no, cash. And no, I asked about the gift card and he says cash. Yeah, that was fun. And was everything.
Oh, yeah.
Coming to give you a gift for walking together. I'd say this little piggy was one of them, Maid of Honor, Paradise Lost. The Once and Future Thing, Star-Crossed, because I'm a fan of Maria and Phil in that. It just like for the man who has everything, he's so good in that.
Well, Susan has a podcast. She's very deep into Justice League. It's her podcast, right?
Yeah, it's called Justice League
Justice
Revisited.
League Revisited.
And we go through all the episodes. We've had
Yeah.
them on. We have the writers, the directors, the musicians, the art directors. Everybody's on talking about each and every episode. So yeah, it's anywhere you listen to podcasts.
Available.
Thanks, George.
My question is, y'all are known for Superman, Wonder Woman, and Hawkgirl, but also I know Maria played Fire in Unlimited, and George played Bizarro, and Susan.
He's so terrible.
But Susan
Yeah.
played Rampage, I believe. So what was it like playing the other characters that weren't as well known?
did I? Yeah.
Did I?
It's fun to get to do something different. Fire's one with the Brazilian accent, right?
Yeah.
Where'd you come up with that one?
What?
I'm kidding. She's got Cuban heritage. She's very
Different from
similar. Come on, similar.
Different country and language.
All right, I'm just saying. It's similar.
Actually, our director's husband, sweetheart, boyfriend, partner, is Brazilian. So, she helped me with the R's sounding like G's. And that was great. So, but I have a good ear, and as actors, you know, we learn accents and we study. And it's a lot of fun. I like playing those old crotchety, mean women.
Yeah.
Do tell.
And, I got to play those too, like, get out of here. Like crowd scenes.
Yeah, we don't have to do the crowd scenes.
Walla, it's called Walla.
You know, the way the fire talk like this, you know, it's fun, it's fun.
Good old lady voice. I like that.
And when they hire you, you have to do your main voice, but they've got you for one fee, they get you for 3 voices. So, you know, it's often, they don't want to bring somebody in to do the voice of the operator. So they'll ask us to be the voice of the operator. Hello, can I take your call, please?
Hey, Mr. Cartwright, Mr. Cartwright.
Okay. Thank you, man.
So, one of the best parts of the Justice League as a whole is its equality. And I'd say that Wonder Woman has had a huge impact in like pop culture and feminism as a whole. So like how does it feel to portray a character that's like so big in that, you know, empowering like feel?
Well, it feels empowering. But I will also say it feels frustrating because I don't think Wonder Woman has gotten her due at all. And I say that as not as a voice actor who wants to voice her, although that's true, but as somebody who has watched Batman and Superman, other Trinity members get projects that she has not gotten. And, you know, the video game was supposed to happen, it didn't happen. The animated series has been talked about forever, that never happened. You know, I wouldn't take anything away from Batman or Superman. Batman is phenomenal and so is Superman. I love them both, but she is part of the Trinity and I don't think she's been respected in so many areas. You know, whether it was the birthday when she turned 75 and the celebrations were all about a movie release rather than the character herself. That was really frustrating for me personally because I pitched what I thought would be a great celebration and honor the character with people who voiced her and played her and wrote her and drew her. And I was shot down completely and totally. And I just think, if not to get too political, but I think we're living in a time right now where women are being made to go backward and having rights taken away. So I wish it felt different, but I believe in the power of change, and I believe that I just want all these, I want the sisterhood to come together, and I want men to join that sisterhood and give us back sometimes, but give us what's rightfully ours. And I can't believe we're still having to fight for that, for our basic rights. So sorry if that was long-winded. Most of the time it's so fun, but there's other things attached to it and that can't be ignored.
I'm very thankful that you gave me your honest thoughts in that answer though. I don't mind if it was long-winded at all. It was,
Oh.
I mean like, it was just, I'm glad to know your thoughts.
Thank you so much.
Super quick for Maria. Did you ever get that second date with Raj?
No.
Thanks, y'all, for being here.
We had such great chemistry.
Hi, guys. Thanks for being here. Y'all voiced these characters for so long, and you're like family to you. And as super fans, and being a Wonder Woman fan, there are parts of her personality that I identify with and that I carry with me every day. What parts of your character that you play, personalities, really resonate with you? And how have you taken those with you every day into your careers or speaking out about social issues? Or even like Susan, you're an animal welfare advocate. Thank you for that. But I'd like to know your thoughts. Thank you.
Yeah, Superman to me is is a great sort of character, and his ideals are you know, noble and worthy. And I think that so often today, especially political climate today, there's a lot of, I believe, dishonesty and truth is being ignored in so many ways. So I think that Superman to me is a figure that I hold up as like there's sort of a black and white about a right and a wrong, not equivocation. And, you know, only for these kind of friends, I'll give this deal. And for these kind of friends, I'll give this deal. And the rest of you can, you know, whatever, good to go. So I feel like that he's important for lots of folks to look up to, that there is a right and a wrong, basically. And that's what I get from him.
Well, parts of her personality that I want to hold on to is her courage and her strength. And oftentimes, you know, when we play something, we use ourselves and we infuse the character with our own qualities. But many times I've learned from the character as an actress. And, you know, because we get to kind of embody them, even if it's just vocally, it does something to you. Kind of like for you, from watching her, you have things from Wonder Woman that you grab onto. It doesn't matter that you're a man and she's a woman. Courage, bravery, strength, honor, vulnerability, heroism, that's just a human thing. So for me, the most important one has been bravery, courage, because sometimes it's hard to remember, hey, I don't need to be afraid, you know? And so I think that's kind of cool how even if it's not a real person, you can still learn and grow from them.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I would say compassion, you know, and just bringing that into my daily life. And I can't tell you how many times during the day she will pop into my brain, and I'll think, you know, and it's almost like a joke, but I'll think, what would Diana do? And Diana. And I think about that a lot, and her compassion, and, you know, I aspire to be as good as she is, you know, so that aspiration's important, and some days are better than others, some days are disasters, but then, you know, you have the next day. But as George said, it's so important, and I think why these stories resonate is because in the end, after those 22 minutes, usually good prevails, and I think sometimes today, for instance, in this time of our country, I think we need to believe that good can prevail.
Thank you guys, and what you do matters. I thank you. I mean, when I was a child, early 80s, I was a little gay kid and Wonder Woman saved me. And as I grew up, I mean, that's one reason why, even as an adult, I watched Justice League. It was, those things stick with you for your life. So what you do is important, so thank you.
Thank you.
Betcha.
Thank you.
Hi, so with Justice League Unlimited, there were tons of characters used in the DC landscape.
Mm-hmm.
But was there a character that you specifically wanted in the show that they couldn't get?
What they wanted but couldn't get?
Yes.
I don't think so.
I don't think so. I think it was for me.
No, I mean, have you seen the shows?
It's unlimited. It's like there's too many characters, actually. I'm not afraid, frankly. Yeah.
Like you, these guys.
I didn't want anybody else.
Green Arrow.
No, but it was like basically, it's your question. It's a great question.
Turned out Black Mary needed him. But my point is this.
Let me finish.
They got everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, there were a couple of people who said no, but in terms of the character, you could even if they didn't say anything, what was so great about Unlimited is you'd be on screen.
Yeah.
You just wouldn't have any dialogue. That happened so much for all of us, actually.
Yeah.
You'd see us all together in the watchtower. Not a word was said.
Yeah. You don't get a session fee for that
Right, you
either.
don't get.
So anyway. Okay. Yes, sir.
Hi, everybody. My name is Alex. I'm a stage performer in Savannah, Georgia. George mentioned musical theater a while back, and I was just wondering if you guys had a favorite stage show, whether that's off Broadway or on Broadway.
There are so many.
Is this on here?
Yeah.
I love West Side Story. My daughters do musical theater. They did when they were growing up. And I got to be in a few musicals in college. It was so fun. And we've been to Savannah. What a great town.
That's a great time.
So there's a thriving musical theater world down there?
Yes, absolutely.
Oh,
Children's
that's great.
theater, live theater, all kinds of genres.
Oh, that's really great.
I'm a Sondheim gal, so Sunday in the Park with George.
That's a great one.
Love it.
Yeah, I love so much musical theater, and what's great about musical theater is it's like it's the best kind of opera. You know, it's like it's when it's done well, it is drama taken to the next level. Like for me, I think if I look back over all the shows that I've loved, which been so many, like The Wiz, Chorus Line, Chicago, so many great ones. But frankly, I think the best musical I've ever seen is Hamilton. Honestly, Hamilton is the mix of all the perfect elements, you know, great history, unbelievable music.
Yep.
You know, sort of a crazy mashup of diverse characters and just genius. That's maybe my favorite.
What's your favorite, Alex?
Yeah.
I want to say my favorite is Monty Python's Spamalot.
Wow, I didn't see that coming. That was a good one. Did you guys see that? That was a good musical.
I got Sir Bedivere for that role.
Yeah.
And that was pretty.
I have a picture of John Cleese on my phone sleeping backstage at a con. So that it, but I won't show it to you, but I do have it. It's pretty fun.
Thank you so much.
Yes, sir.
This is also, oh, wow, hey.
It is on.
It is on. This is also a question for the personnel on the stage and not the characters that you played. I'm a huge fan of voice actors. I usually choose conventions to go to because of voice actors. I used to get to blessed to interview voice actors. I got to interview Jim Cummings, Maurice LaMarche. I got to interview Kevin before he passed. So the question that I usually started out with those, and that I will give to all of you, what was the path that got you into voice acting? Everybody kind of has a different course that they take. What was yours that got you into this wonderful thing that we found ourselves in?
Well, as a theater major, it was all about theater, and then we learned about on-camera acting, film and TV. And then you get to LA or New York and you sign with an agency, and then you want to do commercials too because they're very lucrative. And commercial agencies are separate from theatrical agencies. So when I signed with a commercial agency, they had a voiceover department. And I said, oh, what's that? Oh, that's where you audition for radio commercials and, you know, animated shows, things like that. And I thought, oh yeah, I'd love to do that. It's all more acting with just your voice. It's all different types. So then they start sending you out, and it seems like it's really hard to get a job as a voiceover actor. Because for me, it took a while. And then people say, oh, it's really hard. Then you start believing it's really hard, which you should never believe it, even if it is true. Because you have to be like very optimistic and give it your all and think, hey, I can get this. So then it just started happening. I started booking a few things which is the one Phil was a star, Static Shock. I was Shelley Sandoval, and Andrea was the director on that. And when she was doing the Justice League, she brought me in for that. And I had done a couple of other things, but she was wonderful and brought me in for that. And then all of a sudden, oh, you're a voiceover actor because you're doing so much voiceover work. So that's how it began for me, and I love it. To me, it's just another genre of acting. And it's even more challenging because you have to make everything come alive with just your voice. And I love it. I enjoy it very much.
So I used to do when I was very. So when I was.
Hello.
No, mine's out. Just project.
Hello.
Sorry.
Hi. Yeah. So when I was in high school, I would do commercials for my dad's business on radio. And so I knew that there was something there, because why else would he ask me to do commercials? Other than I was very cheap.
Do you remember it? Can you do it?
It was for his business.
Can you do it?
No.
Isn't that sweet? That how old were you?
15.
Oh, that's so cool.
I can do this one now. Is it love or is it Fancy Feast?
Great.
Nice.
So I knew there was something there with the voiceover, but like Maria went to school, theater, New York a little bit, and then LA. And then I, unlike Maria and George, did not like being in front of a camera. That did not come naturally to me. I felt self-conscious. I didn't love it. I think, you know, you either feel it, eventually you feel at home in front of that or you don't. And I felt at home in front of this-ish. And so I decided to like pivot and stop auditioning for commercials and stop auditioning for all those things on camera. And I went to UCLA and took a voiceover class because when I started, no one knew it. You know, people would be like, what's voiceover? And I got an agent. I was very lucky because I did get an agent very quickly and I got a lot of jobs very early on. And then, you know, mid-career was a little challenging, but that beginning rush was great. And I've never looked back. I mean, I'm the only cast member who was not an on-camera talent. Everyone else has a theatrical career and big theatrical careers. So that was a little intimidating, I'll be honest, because I recognized everyone in the room. But, you know, eventually they became my friends.
I didn't start to be voice over a personal time. It just kind of happened along the way. It just became another audition.
Right.
And it turned out that actually I've been doing voices since I was a kid. And it turned out to be kind of one of my favorite parts of being an actor. So
And George does audiobooks, which is a
I've
whole
done-
other thing.
done over 600 audiobooks. So if you're interested, go to Audible and look and check it out. It's sort of, I do a lot of that. So it's fun. It's really fun.
Real quick, we've got about 4 minutes left, so we probably can get about 2 more questions in.
Dos más preguntas, por favor.
Night attack last night after I left the con. And I don't know if I might be the only person in the room to kind of say this, but it is kind of an honor to meet not just you as Superman, but it's kind of bummer that I can't meet Tom Willing or Christopher Reeves or Henry Cavill, and then I got a passion for Miss Maria over there. I fell in love with her character when she started. I don't know if I was going to say it in here as much as I would, but I liked her in Wizards of Waverly Place.
Yeah, come on.
It was the one show that I loved her, and it was like she has an iconic line that she says, "Knock it off." My mom kind of, because I do a lot of things, and she tells me to obviously knock it off. So you're a great mom on that show. I don't know if no one would ever tell you, but you are. And I know it's also a bummer we can't get Gallagher go, but we do got Miss Susan here. And I actually kind of liked George when he started on Dad Napped, if no one else ever brought it up. He was Neil Morris. He made like if George can help me explain it, you made.
I got covered in dental floss and then gooped at the end. That's what I remember. I kidnapped or deadnapped, and Emily Osmond's dad. That's what I remember.
I know you made a character in the show was a Trip Zoom.
Yeah.
Everyone was like, and also what was funny is that your on-screen daughter, she was talking to Trip. Did you see him at some point too, or was that?
I don't think so. Yeah, that was just in her imagination, I believe.
Yeah. Interesting. It's kind of cool. And then I'm trying to say, I had like a special needs thing. I was kind of embarrassed to tell you guys that at your tables when I met y'all today, and I don't know why I had the panic attack yesterday, but I had to leave a party yesterday.
It's okay.
But I thought I would, come out today and survive and live another day.
Good job, buddy.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming.
Good for you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
And if you knew that we were having a panel, and if you knew that maybe you were going to ask a question, maybe that gave you some anxiety. So well done that you worked through that.
And by the way, we all go through things like that.
Everybody.
Everybody does. And the fact that you said, no, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna keep going. That's what we all want to do. So thank you.
Thank you, that was a great last question. Let's hear one more.
You can come by our tables and talk.
Come on the table. Come on the table.
Yeah. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, man.
They're all afternoon, you guys.
Thank you.
Let's hear it one more time for Justin.
Hey, I would also add, make sure you get photo ops and come by to the table.
Yeah, photo ops as well, correct? Yes, no problem.
Thank you, man.
Thank you for attending. If you could, please use the round doors located on the right side of the panel room to exit. For my ADA folk, you will be going out the front entrance the way that you came in. Thank you. I will.
Kind of want to get in on this action too.
Can I get in? Thank you. I said be a close one, but you're so good. You just done it. Oh, very good.
Thank you.
You guys are amazing. Thank you, buddy.
You guys are.
Hope you guys have a safe trip. Thank you. Thank you.
Just bring Maria. So, it's not the White House at Virginia. So what if you never use great? And it's hard to do that.
It is.
Okay, so, right. Tell me what the every day. Every day. I can feel there. Look it up.
Thank you so much. Oh, thank you. Is it there?
Yeah, I had to go to the car. It's hot outside. It's very humid outside right now. Like it's more humid here than in Berkeley. You want to change clothes?
Yeah, it's fun to hear. It's about to go for a game. Sure. Yes, there is.
What made you actually on me go to question?
Yeah, if you look down at the ground, you'll see kind of where the guy is.
Actually,
Complete nerve authority.